Moment. We need to bring in another voice here. Congressman Chris Cox of California joining us with more information on what members of Congress are being told this hour, particularly with regard to the investigation and what we're learning who may be responsible for these 4 plane attacks. Congressman, what do you know?
Well, this evening, I and the congressional leadership and other members of the House and the Senate were briefed by the Attorney General, by the Director of the FBI, by the Deputy National Security Advisor. It was a classified briefing, and so of course I can't share with you the details of what was discussed. But as the President explained to the country this evening, we are focused on 2 main objectives. Number 1 is hunting down, tracking down the source of this terrorism and eradicating it. And second, putting the country back on its feet and getting back to work.
Congressman, let me ask you some pointed questions. Our chief political correspondent, Carl Cameron, has been talking with congressional staffers who have high-level security clearance. I'm assuming you've been told the same thing, that there are Osama bin Laden sympathizers in Broward County, Florida, and Daytona Beach, Florida, one of whom was listed on the manifest, the passenger list, of one of these 4 hijacked flights. I'm sure you were being told the same thing, were you not?
Well, what I can't tell you, of course, is precisely what was discussed in a classified briefing. What I can tell you is what you might surmise on your own, and that is that going through these manifests, identifying the pilots and so on who were on board these aircraft is one of the very elementary first steps that law enforcement is going to be taking in these cases. All
right. Now, let me also ask you about this report. Orrin Hatch, ranking Republican on the Senate Judiciary Committee, said earlier this evening that U.S. intelligence has intercepted communications between certain bin Laden backers, acknowledging that certain targets had been hit. What were you told?
In this briefing, of course, I'm not at liberty to describe to you what I was told. During the day today, I heard reports from public sources that these intercepts had been made. I should tell you that I started out the day with the Secretary of Defense and the Deputy Secretary of Defense at the Pentagon. At the very moment that these attacks occurred on the World Trade Center, I was with Don Rumsfeld and Paul Wolfowitz in the Secretary's private dining room. Ironically, we were discussing the new threats that are emerging that America is facing, and the Secretary had said literally moments before the Pentagon itself was hit that there will be another event. And he said it twice for emphasis, there will be another event, not because he'd been tipped off, but because he was so certain that terrorists are aiming now at America, at our heartland.
I know. I realize that if I keep asking you more pointed questions, you're still not going to tell me what was said during that briefing. But earlier today, I spoke to the foreign minister of Israel, asked him pointedly, with all of their extensive intelligence network, did they have any clue, any specific indication that this attack was coming? Israel said no. Is that what you have also gotten from the United States government?
Our government, as has been said in many public fora during the day today, did not have advance warning of this attack.